Yep. On your marks, get set, depart. You're going to have to put your back right to him, and then there you go. Be ready to draw. And that's where you kind of keep trying to sidestep and get into position or get connected again. And that's where as soon as you feel that, where it's hind-quarter, and then leave the space forward right away. And your marks, get set, depart. And he's being extremely fast with that. I'm glad you have your video. That's going to help.
So read very fast. when I lose it.
When you feel like this space between you is starting to change, and that'll help you get a little more feeling of forward. Yes. Right now he's coming to your back, but when you start building on that, he's going to come right up next to you, and then your stick to me to the side will be there. Right there. Sooner. You can feel it where he doesn't stay with you. The hindquarter yield is beautiful. But then he starts drifting away, and that's that moment in time. That's so nice to see. I've just not seen him do that much. Here and there it's been there, but consistently, that is really nice. He's like, how about if we just stay in your quadrant?
Oh, we just came.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Uh-oh.
Is she...
she looked like she was going to.
I don't know if Jeanette... Is Jeanette in there?
Yeah, she's back.
Okay, good. I was just going to say, because the dog is in there, I wasn't sure if that was an issue. He's right on the edge of that one. That's funny. Oh, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, sometimes you'll be like, oh man, I should have done 5 things and I only did 2. Good. He has a lot of natural collection. Can you guys see how pretty he is through his body? Look at all that. I mean, it's beautiful.
He's so pretty. See?
Sometimes go for a walk or whatever and don't really include him. Just be like, my shared space is always available. I'm just going somewhere. Of course you're welcome to come along. So it has that wee feeling, but you're not always trying to set him up with a bunch of information. And sometimes this is fun to play with. I'll even have people, even kind of try to lose their horse, in a sense, to say, maybe I can drop them off at one of the quadrants and they won't realize it. See if I can lose. I had a couple people try this, and a horse that was not wanting to come with them at all, they could not drop the horse off anywhere. It's like there was no way. The horse was like, you're not going to lose me. I don't care if you go through 10 quadrants. You're not going to lose me. He's funny.
He's like, well, I know where you're going to end up, so I'm just going to hang out around here.
Yeah, it's pretty... Well, and some of them, they'll be like, oh, sure, I'll follow, and then they'll get totally distracted in a quadrant. It's very funny. Yeah. It's like right out of there, before he gets too far away, on your marks, get set, depart. Right there. And get out of it. Yes, perfect, perfect. You're going to love seeing that, because he is so there. He's really fast right behind you. Okay, so let's play something with him. Let's do, just to advance it a little bit, let's go out and say you invite a circle now. So you've done this for a bit, you've got a lot of pieces, you've got a lot of great friendly games, you've got stuff going. Let's go invite him out. If at some point he picks a quadrant, so be it. Maybe that happens, maybe it doesn't. Maybe he finds you again. That's great too. If he continues to go, I'd like you to do a little bit of extreme friendly to relaxation with him. Okay, so a couple different possibilities could happen as we play with the circle. So Erica, this will be for later, when you've got all those pieces happening. Go ahead. Be a little faster with your hand. When you do your send, I would bring my hand, open it and then get it out of there. Open it and then get it out of there. Good. And you can still send. Good. Nice. Don't be surprised if after you played that game, they ask a whole bunch of questions about what are we doing? Is it okay that I go through there? Is there a connection point? And this is a little bit early because she hasn't finished her quadrants yet. So I wanted to give you an example so you guys have some pieces here to build on. Okay. He's going to be really sensitive to you stepping in front of him. So if you move toward zone 1 at all, you better do it really casually, or he's going to think you're stepping in the line. You can imagine how good her transitions are going to be later, how light her stop to a backup on the rail is going to be. Really sensitive. This is what I'd love for all these horses to get to a point where when they go through a space, they're connected enough to check in. And then eventually connected enough to maintain gait. Nice too, because just those few cavalettis help them shape their body, be a little bit more round, think about going over something. Really nice. You might find him change a little bit, like in there where he was kind of thinking about you a little more as he was coming around.
Would you rather me stand still in my center or no?
I don't mind if you do a moving circle. You'll build on this. It'll get better and better. And then you'll have more and more opportunity to do either. I'd like you to be able to do moving circles and standing still. We have time to build on that. Good. And I would say, Karen, the more times that you have to speak about it, it would be good to increase the departure quality. So let's say within 2 to 3 times like that, she'd probably bring him up to the canter, asking for him to move off the space with more enthusiasm, and then feel the trot. So maybe 1 or 2 where you're speaking about the trot, and then allow that to go all the way up to the canter, and then just breathe and relax a little bit, and he'll trot. And then you can play with the trot quality. But if you keep playing, more trot, more trot, more trot, it's going to get into a form of micromanaging. Relax, there you go, down to the trot. The quality of his trot will here, when he feels the most connected, would be a good friendly game place. In the sense of, and I'm too late, but when he had like that really nice big trot over here, and he's got that, look at me, I'm just cooking, and he didn't need any support, then you could be like, I saw that, man, that was so nice. Thank you for the effort. So we'll do that going to the left. That was really good. Dawn, how are you doing over there? Do you want to come stand in the sun? He's not going to go anywhere. I feel like I'm sitting on that pad almost, and my butt's so warm.
Mm-hmm.
Feels my front is cold, but yeah, am I steaming? Oh, I can steam. And I know I may not be able to stay over here. So. Bring your hand up and down faster, okay? Be sensitive to it now, so really casually. Walk slow up there. Walk slow. Good. Yeah, up to the canter on the next one. I think it'll be good to mix this in sooner rather than later too, just because of I don't want to do a lack of forward in our picture, so this will be great. You can almost see how he's taken over the quadrant game now. He's going from quadrant to quadrant to quadrant. It would not surprise me because that's definitely a lead quality. But again, this is an example of how I would like you guys to all experience it so that there's that kind of understanding. Good. They would either try their best to stay or they would be escaping. Yeah, he's not escaping. Nice, Karen. Good.
Change.
Really good. Really good.
It's different.
Yeah. Good. Really good. That's going to be actually probably important. I wanted to check that just to make sure, but I think we're going to want to do a little bit of both. Quadrants, play with elements of that, and then also play with some forward, because we already know he has a lot of this sucking back, and the quadrants could add to that if you were to just do that game only for a long period of time. So I'm glad I checked that. That'll be good to do both. I know. How does that feel? Do you have any questions? That's going to be great. And then think about each quadrant as a little pin. So you could go, okay, well, what are we going to do in this space? Let's pick something fun. What are we going to do in that space? Let's do something together there. So that each one has some little areas. I've had people add obstacles in there. You could add low cavalettis here as your line eventually, and even make them be larger. Yeah, it'd be a good development over time. And, you know, then adding in just your games in general and your yields. I mean, the pole sideways over it, backwards over it, you know, it's its own obstacle anyway. So there's lots of opportunity there. It kind of feels to me like it diffused some of that behavior he gets into with his neck and his head and the striking, and that's some of the nicest forward and connection I've seen. That was really good job. Yes, yep. Oh, great. Does that feel like an okay stopping spot? Really good. Nicely done. Do you guys have any questions?